Wow. Today's been a good day. I got my Batman tickets the second they went on sale. I ended up getting the best seats in the house. Opening night IMAX. Can't wait! Then Jurassic World Dominion finally got its first trailer drop. I might do a video on that later. And of course, we have the penultimate episode of Peacemaker dropping on HBO Max. And it's a great episode. So now I shall talk about that with the spoilers, so you have been warned. If you have not watched this 7th episode of Peacemaker, you should probably not watch this video. Unless you don't care, in which case, hello, how are ya? Thanks for watching. Alright, let's go. And yeah, like I said, this episode was a great episode. Dude, Peacemaker is just crushing it. This show really does continue to surprise me in the best ways, for the most part. So this penultimate episode starts off with a flashback, and now we finally get our full explanation of what happened back in the day with Chris Smith, Peacemaker, and his brother, Keith. Yeah, that's been a mystery for the past few episodes. We find out that they were raised in straight up redneck country. They were made to fight each other because all the adults, they were rough on them. And so young Chris and Keith are fighting each other, and Chris lands a sock onto Keith's face, and I don't know exactly what happened, but it must have ruptured his brain, or it caused something bad to go on behind his eyes. Something shut down in Keith's body, and so he's convulsing on the ground. You see him foaming at the mouth. You're like, ugh. I knew this scene was gonna be brutal, but knowing beforehand doesn't make it any less brutal. And so that caused Augie Smith's resentment towards Chris. Alright, well, that does explain a bit. I'm sure a traumatic childhood event like that would scar someone for life. So I guess the fact that these memories are resurfacing in Peacemaker's mind are why he is more reluctant to kill people than he was in the Suicide Squad. Alright, that makes sense. Yeah, I buy it. And so Peacemaker's like, alright, come on Vigilante, come on Economos, we're gonna go kill the cow. And so they go. They're on their way, they're on the road, when all of a sudden, enter the White Dragon. Dude, this guy, this suit, alright, I will establish beforehand that this guy is as terrible as they come. He is a real piece of shit human being. I know that, and I acknowledge that. That being said, his Iron Man-ish suit I thought was pretty cool. I mean, he's flying around, he's shooting energy beams out of his gauntlets. He is pretty much Iron Man if Iron Man were a white supremacist asshole, although he's not nearly as rich or smart. But come on, how does the suit not remind you of Iron Man, the way he flies? Robert Patrick as Augie Smith, aka White Dragon, is a great villain, and actually there are a couple of cool things about this scene that I liked. First off, alright, the fact that they were able to track them by the GPSs in the helmets, so Peacemaker's like, alright, let's rig the helmets to get them off our ass, and we see that one of the helmets has been tied to a raccoon. I was like, that has to be a nod to Guardians of the Galaxy and Rocket Raccoon. Peacemaker's like, dude, raccoons are hardcore. I was like, how could this not be a little James Gunn inside joke? Or at least that's what I thought anyway. This next bit's pretty funny. The shot where you see Peacemaker running from the lackeys. I was like, oh, Dead Man's Chest! He's totally pulling off a Jack Sparrow from Dead Man's Chest. Again, that's just the first thing I thought of, and it made me crack up, what can I say? But the scene really gets down to the nitty-gritty emotions of it all, when first of all, White Dragon punches Eagly down. I was like, oh no, that's crossing the line there, buddy. You can talk shit about your son all the livelong day, but the second you hurt an animal, that's too much for me. You gotta die. And then White Dragon starts monologuing. I was like, oh god, he's monologuing. Someone stop him. I love the fact that White Dragon is like, you killed your brother, and Peacemaker's like, no, you killed my brother. That is really good character growth for Christopher Smith. I imagine it would have been easy for him to see it as his own fault for his brother's death. After all, he's the one who delivered the punch. But no, it's not his fault. His father is the one who made them fight in the first place. His father's the asshole. And so he blames him. I was like, yeah, man, it is White Dragon's fault. Kick his ass. And it gets to the point where Peacemaker has a gun. He's pointing it right at his father. And dude, his father freaking challenges him. He straight up dares him to shoot him. He's like, do it, you pansy. And honestly, I was not sure if Peacemaker was gonna have the balls to do it. But no, he straight up does it. Christopher Smith kills his father. He shoots him right in the head. And I was like, holy shit, that was great. Good on you, Peacemaker, cause that shithead absolutely deserved to die. Don't give me that, oh, he was a human life, all human life deserves to live. No, don't give me that. Augie Smith was way too much of an asshole to deserve to live. It's like saying that about Adolf Hitler or King Joffrey. Yeah, just some people don't deserve to live. Augie Smith was one of them. And the way Peacemaker just broke down and started crying right there, I was like, I'm feeling this. I mean, after all, that was his own father. It was kind of like that moment in Avengers Infinity War where Gamora thought she killed Thanos. She broke down and started crying. It was like a cathartic experience for that character. Same thing here, except this time it's real. This scene was such a great dramatic moment, and then it had to be ruined by Vigilante stepping in with a line. Seriously, dude, I said out loud when Vigilante butted in with his line, I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're not funny and you're ruining this great moment. I didn't let it ruin the moment too much for me. I still felt all all the emotion once the scene was done. I just thought the scene would have been a lot better without Vigilante butting in with his bad comedy. That's all. I've pretty much gotten to the point where Vigilante, like, I really do not like this character. I kind of hate him because he's an idiot and he's not funny. Like, I've gotten to the point where if he were to die, I wouldn't be mad. In fact, I would almost be grateful because he's really doing nothing for me. My apologies to James Gunn. Meanwhile, we have Adebayo in Harcourt. Adebayo confesses that she is the daughter of Amanda Waller. I was wondering when that news was going to come out. And Adebayo's whole moral dilemma. She's like, dude, I am not suited for this job. I want out. And honestly, who can blame her? Then we get to Myrn. And dude, alright. We all knew this was coming, but the police, they're really brainwashed police, they're butterflies. They break into Myrn's place and they shoot him and they kill him. Yep, this is the death of Clemson Myrn. Myrn dies and it is pretty sad, especially when Adebayo and Harcourt come in. Dude, Harcourt picks up that butterfly that's dying because it was crushed. And so this crushed butterfly is reaching out its hand and she touches her finger to it. I was like, I'm feeling this. It's weird because on paper, it doesn't really sound like it should hit as hard as it does. But I mean, the dramatic music's kicking on and you see this butterfly and you remember that this is the butterfly that sympathized with humanity. This alien butterfly wanted to befriend humanity and now it's dead. That's so sad. And so at this point, I was like, dude, this episode is hitting hard. Got some really strong emotional scenes in this episode. All sorts of props to that, I'm just saying. But oh, it's not over yet. Because I mean, then we have the return of Kato from Green Hornet, Judo Master. Yeah, he survived Adebayo shooting him. So he comes back, he gets into a fight with Harcourt, and I was like, dude, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Because not only is Harcourt a badass Black Widow-esque fighter, but now she's got emotion behind her. One of her teammates just died. We just had an emotionally charged scene. Don't mess with Harcourt now. You're gonna get your balls kicked in. And he does. Granted, it's by Adebayo tasing him, but the point still stands. Honestly, what is the point of Judo Master anymore? Does he really know something about the butterflies or not? I imagine we'll find out in next week's finale. So we have that to look forward to. And then we get to possibly the most emotionally charged scene in this entire episode, Eagly's recovery. Dude, I mean, the fact that Peacemaker is sitting there praying, and next thing you know, you see Adebayo watching through the window as Eagly wraps his wings around Peacemaker. Dude, oh my god. Maybe I'm a sap, I don't know, but this scene hit me. It hit me good. I don't know why. I mean, you feel like, yeah, Peacemaker does have a really strong bond with his pet. Actually, you know what? That is enough to justify it, because imagine if it was your pet. Yeah, I imagine that you would react the same way that Peacemaker does when Eagly recovered. I know I would. So yeah, that's probably why this scene hit me so hard. Because freaking animals, dude. No one likes to see animals get hurt. This scene's probably gonna end up being one of my favorite scenes in the season, because it just worked. And so now we have the team, and they're like, alright, what are we gonna do without Myrn? We need a new leader, who should it be? Yeah, Harcourt, probably the best pick, because she is the most level-headed out of all of them. She's the Rock, you know, she's not easily emotionally compromised. Sounds like a good fit for a leader to me. And so they're like, alright, we're gonna go take out this cow now, finally. Leading right into next week's finale, with our final scene in this episode revealing just what this cow looks like. And dude, holy god, that thing is terrifying. It's funny, after the episode was over, my friend was texting me, he was like, that thing reminds me of that thing from Monsters vs. Aliens. I was like, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen that movie since theaters. But yeah, it's certainly freaky looking. How are we gonna kill that thing? Only a week's time will tell. In the end, this episode was a great episode, probably one of the best so far, and I cannot wait for next week's finale. Let's wrap this season up with a bang. So, the 7th episode of Peacemaker, titled Chapter 7, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!